Jeff, coming back to you, this is kind of seeing what you had a vision for in the first place, but were unable to you wouldn't have been able to do it without Jimmy and their church.
That's right. That's exactly right. Being a smaller church and having a heart to plant churches, we needed other people to work together. One of the sayings at CGN is, together we can do more than we can separately.
Yeah, that's great.
And I have realized that reality many times. We've planted churches, and we've been part of church plants in Cambodia and India, South Central LA. None of these I did on my own. But it was me and other churches coming alongside and
Jeff,
doing that.
One of the big I think takeaways from this is getting these pastors from bigger churches to get boots on the ground, to meet these guys, to see the potential. What are some of the other things that maybe in the relationship with Jimmy and some of these other pastors that, because you've been doing this, Jeff, as a smaller church, planting churches. Like, what are some of what's your, I'm trying to think of a better way to say it than like a sales pitch, but what's your pitch to them? Like, how do you get these churches? Because I'm thinking about the guy who maybe he doesn't know as many people as you or whatever. Is it relationships? Is it contacts? Is it like you're cold calling these churches and saying, hey, I've got an opportunity for you in Ireland?
Yeah,
tell us the secret, Jeff.
Yeah. Well,
prayer.
I can't. Yeah, definitely prayer.
Amen.
I can't say at all that we've reinvented the wheel. God has used Calvary Chapel this way for decades, but it's all been organic.
Yeah.
And now as there's nearly 2,000 Calvary Chapels, many of us don't have relationships with all of those churches. And
yes,
I have stayed awake at night thinking, what about that little mom and pop church in Montana that has 30 adults and they have one young guy that just loves the Lord and wants to go out and plant a church, but can't because the pastor of a 30-person church is literally cleaning the bathrooms and doing worship and
he doesn't have
and
time
everything
to think
else.
about sending this guy out.
Yeah. And so I've built relationships with some churches, larger churches, that have been so gracious in coming alongside and helping in those areas. In my vision and my view, I imagine thousands, if not hundreds or thousands of churches looking at it from that perspective and saying, hey, let's all do this together.
Together, yeah. You're familiar with because Cultivate is just getting really started. Our vision is to plant 1,000 churches in 10 years. And you first hear that vision and you think, whoa, that doesn't sound really possible. But you're talking about a network of churches, not only within CGN, but even CCA and the Calvary Chapel family at large, where we could network together to really accomplish this, especially since some of the bigger churches may not have the vision or the guy or the, like the 30-person church has that guy. How can we network these guys together in order to see the Great Commission fulfilled and churches planted? And that's why, Jeff, you know this about Cultivate. That's why it's one of the biggest initiatives of CGN, is because that is the heart of the network, to plant more churches, to see the gospel spread.